Good morning. We are June 2nd, year 2. We're going to fill up the gas, or I should say the diesel fuel, in the 9390, because we're going to go cultivate that field we just worked and harvested off of for another farmer. But we'll go get that cultivated, and we're doing that. We also got a lime contract we could hooked up that we'll do a little after on, I think, field 32. That should be pretty quick and easy. It's only about like $8,000 what it's paying. We'll probably spend about $1,000 in lime. And actually, let's while we're here, let's run down here real quick, because I can't remember if this was lime or fertilizer. No, it's fertilizer. Not much left in it either. So we'll have to figure that out. I'll run back up here. But get about $25,000 for doing this cultivating on field 10. So that's going to be the priority right now. Bringing a little bit of money. The cows doing pretty good. Manure loading up there. Got to try to figure out what we want to do with that ultimately too. Do we want to use it as fertilizer in the fields? Or do we want to try to find a way to BGA it almost, Ideally, that BGA up here to our left would be nice, but it's like 300 grand. And I don't think we'd produce enough stuff in that time, cow waste, to really make that worth it. But I would like to have some kind of system that we can, profit off of while also having digestite left over to use on the fields. Kind of getting all the uses and purposes and values out of all our waste, essentially. But yeah, so we're gonna cultivate this massive field. This will probably take a lot of the day, actually, looking at it. Field's pretty large. Get this open. This cultivator's got some size, but it's still gonna take it a minute to do it all. Get that dropped. So I think that's what I'm gonna start doing. If I can get this pulling here, we're slipping. There we go. Probably shouldn't have went uphill. Probably should have started at the other drive and then worked our way up. But yeah, we're gonna get this cultivated, and I'll probably see you guys after this. Probably won't time lapse this part of it, as this will be some serious work. See y'all in a bit. Alright, so full up the cultivator, we're done. Took about, 6 hours? Give or take. So, pretty large field. Luckily this cultivator is almost 10 meters. But we've been paid. We now got $103,000 in the bank account, which is nice. We're gonna go pick up some lime, and then we'll go spread lime. I think what I'll do is I will pay to fill that trailer, or our lime spreader, and then we'll just dump out what we have at the barn. That way we just can kind of have it readily available. We don't have to keep buying it or driving all the way to town to buy it. But yeah, so we'll get that. I'll see you guys when we get to town with the smaller case and the lime spreader. Alright, this is the field. We need the lime. Thinking pretty straight up and down. So what I might do, get GPS on, get our width and lines adjusted. The lines are on. I want to go this way, right? Get this unfolded. Forgot to do that. Should be pretty close to it. I'll probably just do a headland, then we'll be able to work up and down, I think, with this island. Trying to get it a little straighter than that, but it is. I mean, this shouldn't take too long at all. I'm just more curious how much lime we're going to burn through. We've already gone through about 15%, just up one side. But we'll go, like I said, we'll do the headland. Get that done first. Then we'll go up and down. Other than the island in the middle, we should be all set. Should be pretty straightforward. No pun intended. Yeah, we're burning through some lime. We might actually, I don't know. We might have to actually go back to complete this. We do, I may only go to half. I think it was like $900 almost. That's what it cost us to fill this with lime. I know if we had our own stone crusher and created our own lime, you know, so on and so forth, I just don't think we're going to get a lot of field stones, even though you're seeing them on a lot of other stuff. So I did turn them off for that reason. It's just not really that big. I mean, ideally, you're going to go get lime yourself. So let's back this up now and get ourselves straightened out and running up and down the field edge. Shouldn't be too bad of a job. I mean, this is small. I think this field's maybe like 7 or 8 acres. So 20% of the field took us 60% almost of our lime. Should be able to run right up and down this. Yeah, that's going to work out. On the way back, we'll have to loop it to the right. So yeah, we are burning through the lime. It is what it is, I guess. Should be able to get all the way to this corner. Probably should have turned it off there. It's alright. I'm thinking actually, maybe I'll go the long way. We'll go around the island the other way, top it off. No, because we gotta do it on the way back. We want to be efficient. Try not to double cross as much. As I say that, yet again, leaving it on. But yeah, I think we're definitely gonna have to go back to town. I mean, it's 36% completed, and we're 90% through our lime that we had in this one. I do like this little spreader, but it does lack the carrying size of a lot of the other ones in the store, or at the dealers, we should say. So I think that's what's gonna happen. We're about to run out right before we get to the island. Yep. Swing through these trees. Alright, so I'm gonna run back. We'll make another purchase, and I think best bet is to still fill it up. Alright, we are back. Took us a little while. It's pretty backed up over at the co-op. But another $897 on the spot spent. So $2,000 put into this contract. We'll make about $8,000. I don't think we get reimbursed for our lime expenses, unfortunately. But this should, I mean, not to jinx myself, this should complete it for us. Should have enough, I hope. There we go, 57% of the field completed. So ideally, seeing that number, we should have enough. We're going to shut that off briefly and turn it back on. Try to save it as much as we can. Yeah, 76 degrees out right now. You know, if we could have 6 figures in the bank account all the time, it'd be nice. Ideally, though, I don't see us really ever holding that until probably year 4. I mean, we got to get pretty good amount of income coming in. Like I said, I'm going to look at some options, what we can do with our slurry, what we can do with the manure that we have. Because if we can turn all that into digestite and still get paid for the energy it creates, probably better than... It may even have a heating system to it, you know? Because our straw boiler is not bad, but it doesn't generate really anything for us. I think we get $2 a month back. Our barns use a lot of that energy, so we got to find something that's a little bit easier and doesn't force us to have to go through all our straw either. Because that was the other thing. We burned a lot of straw, and we kind of need that for our livestock now. So I'm going to be on the lookout for possible upgrades we can make. If we get somebody that wants to buy the straw boiler, I think I'm going to sell it ahead of time and give them that option. So, yeah, that should, one would hope, give us a usage for all our animal waste. But again, that's quite a drop off. It's finding the system that works, what we need, and yeah, pretty much. I just want something that's going to be able to create digestate for us and have a little bit of income. So if you know something, and I haven't found it by the time we get done this episode or the next episode, leave it in the comments. Let me know. And hopefully, like I said, it works out for us. We just need kind of that running income. We have the rental home, which is still bringing us money, which is good. Does seem to fluctuate, which I think is kind of interesting, being it's a rental property. Should be consistent every month, but it does help us out towards our interest payments. Kind of offsets it. Otherwise, we'd be about 10 grand loss every month. So, not bad. And actually, that is crazy. We are about to run out. I mean, we might actually run out. I think I'm just going to finish with what we have here. We finished the field. And I think if I run this edge, I'm just trying to empty the last of it. And now all of a sudden it seems to want to be. There we go. So we, yeah, I took 2 full loads of lime for this contract. Let's get paid, huh? So there we go. $8,100 in the bank account. And actually over here, let's see what we got in the store. Still just that 8RT. One of the things we can look at while we're actually here, let's look at BGAs. We can't afford those. That one's $365. A lot more than what the one down the road is. So we can't do that then either. We got a fertilizer production. Now, this is interesting. So we put our manure in there. It'll create solid fertilizer for us, which we could make money off that. And if I'm reading correctly, digestite. Now, how big is this building? Not big at all. Fertilizer production, digestite. Fertilizer production manure. Fertilizer production liquid manure. Okay, liquid fertilizer production. So we do got a couple mods in the folder that would help us. Slurry and digestite dryer. We want to create digestite. I mean, for us, that's an easy fertilizer, even though obviously now we can see create our own fertilizer that way too. But I think being able to create both would kind of be effective. Mini BGA with refueling. Is that 50? 55? I feel like this needs something else to it. I could be wrong. Refueling station, biogas plant. That one also, maybe. Multi-production, so kind of leaning. Yeah, that's pellet clench. Ooh, that's 435. We can't afford that. Seed production. Sugar beet processing plant. So I actually like looking back at it. I don't think we need like a BGA. I think we need, where'd that one go? I kind of like that little one. The fertilizer production. You know, 40,000. Definitely could put manure into it. Doesn't take the slurry, but I can kind of live with that because the big thing is the digestite comes out of it. I don't know what ratio digestite would come out of it, but I think we kind of have a direction to go there now. So we'll take the rest of the day probably, but I did not see any contracts other than baling, and see if we can figure that out. What it would cost to get rid of our straw boiler and maybe put that in. Not that it really creates energy for us, but it allows us to burn up the manure, get some digestate, which we can put to use, and we can expand and become a little more efficient on our end of farming, essentially, or even sell the solid fertilizer if we need to. It's pretty good money in that, so that's something for us to think about. So we'll get back there, we'll check it out, and I'll be in touch. Alright, so we sold the straw boiler and we found an alternative option that'll create electricity for us to heat our new system in the barn and the sheds. We had to put it across the road, so we lost a little bit of field space, but there it is. We got ourselves a BGA. What I'm going to do right now, I have to back this in. We're going to start filling it up with some manure. We'll bring the slurry over there too, get it processing, but we also spent some money on this cart trailer, whatever you would want to call it, the gloss. About 17.5 grand. Holds a pretty good amount of manure, so we'll bring that over. We just scraped out the barnyard, but we want to get that BGA over there running. I'm not sure how our competitors down the road will feel about it. They definitely said no when we submitted the permit to the town of Alma. But you know what? We've got to do it. We've got to have some kind of livelihood, you know? There we go. We'll dump that. No, this should generate, like I said, digestate for us. Yeah, I could have did the one that makes the fertilizer essentially, but I think right now this is kind of, you know, a decent way for us because we get the digestate out of it, which we'll need for our own fields. But you never know, maybe that's an option for us. Actually, we're gonna go a long way to eventually start producing our own solid fertilizer or even liquid fertilizer and putting that on the market if we end up with surpluses of that. So that is something to think about. We just got to be able to purchase the lime and stuff to go with it. So I think I can fill this trailer up one more time. I won't fill it, but gets it up there. We will go put it in. Then we'll go drain our slurry pit. And we'll get this thing running. I didn't look if this took silage or not, but I think the silage we're going to keep for our cows. We got those bales that I just feel like holding on to no matter what. I'll have to set them off to the side for now, but I think those will be beneficial for our backup, essentially, when we run down through the silo. Alright, so we'll get this put over. Gotta figure out where we're gonna put this. You know what? I'm gonna leave that right there, and I think theoretically I should be alright pulling this. The other thing we need to do is get a methane trailer, because that will produce some methane in that BGA. Not a lot out the gate. I mean, we look at it, you know, it's going to produce a lot of electricity, a lot of digestate. Methane won't be too high, but I think, you know, being able down the road to sell that methane is be kind of key for us. So we're going to use this, and I should be able to offload it once we get over there. Like I said, we'll get that fired up. So this should fill the tank. Yeah, the slurry was pretty, it was like 16,000 liters last I checked, so it should be pretty close to a full tank. Seeing if that slurry, yeah, the slurry down there is starting to drop, I can see it. So we got a full tank. I want to kind of see, where's this at? Slurry, just under 5,000. Manure's down to nothing. So I think I'm going to leave that amount of slurry in there in case we need it. Oh yeah, we're spinning a little bit. There's definitely some weight now in this. So this, I don't think will be an option for us to take out to the fields with this tractor. I mean, right now we're on pretty firm ground and it's definitely pulling. There we go. You know, never gives me the offload option with this slurry, so we might have to actually buy a tanker. I'm gonna have to go dump this back in the pit because I think we're gonna actually need a tanker. Yep. I think that's gonna be our situation, unless I'm just not. No. I'm just not getting it, so I'm gonna go. Oh, I'll take a gander. We can get a feasible price tanker and we'll go from there. Actually, right here, let's run over here and get this fired up. So, oh yeah, I can take sugar beets cut and potatoes as well. So we'll get that going. Like I said, off the manure, it's not going to create a lot of either. Slurries, but the same. Silage is the big one. So maybe we should put those bales in for now. Yeah, nothing really crazy off any of those. I mean, the one that creates most methane is straw. So, but that'll run. We'll figure out what we're going to do with the slurry and go from there. Well, let's, maybe we get something. Nothing for there. We got any contracts? No, nothing. Well, I think that pretty much will do it for this episode. We've made that addition to the farm. straw boiler wasn't really working out for us, so it is what it is, I guess. And I'm hoping I can put this slurry back in the slurry pit. Like I said, we'll have to get an actual slurry pit trailer. Okay. Yeah, I wonder why this one doesn't. I wonder if I'm not. Yeah, it's not the mouth. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Till next time. As always, thanks for watching. Farmer Taz out.